You don't replay old conversations because you're bored. You replay them because something inside you never heard what it needed to hear. It usually starts quietly. A random moment, folding laundry, driving at night, lying in bed with the lights off. And suddenly, a sentence comes back. Something you said, something they didn't say. A pause that lasted half a second too long. Your mind drops everything else and goes there. Most people think this means they overthink. But that word is too small for what's actually happening. Because when your brain replays a conversation, it's not revisiting the past. It's trying to finish something that never emotionally ended. You remember the tone more than the words, the way their voice shifted, the look on their face, the moment you felt yourself adjust mid-sentence without knowing why. And even now, long after the conversation is over, your body still remembers that shift. What's unsettling is how automatic it is. You don't choose the memory, it chooses you. Your brain brings it back the same way it brings back a sound in the dark, not to scare you, but to protect you. Because unfinished moments feel unsafe to the human nervous system, especially the quiet ones. When a conversation ends without clarity, without emotional resolution, your mind doesn't label it as done. It labels it as open. And open loops don't fade on their own. They stay active, they wait. That's why you don't replay conversations where everything felt clear. You replay the ones where you sensed something, but couldn't name it. A subtle rejection, a moment of being misunderstood, a time you held back what you really felt. Your brain notices those moments more than you think. It stores them as emotional data, not because they were dramatic, but because they were incomplete. And the mind hates incompletion. When you replay old conversations, your brain is scanning for information it missed the first time. A different meaning, a hidden intention, a clue that explains why the interaction felt slightly off. You're not trying to change the past. You're trying to understand the signal your body felt before your thoughts caught up. This is why the replay is never exact. The words change. Your responses improve. You say what you wish you had said, not to win, but to feel settled. Your brain is rehearsing emotional safety. It's imagining a version of the interaction where you leave intact, where you're not confused afterward, where you don't question yourself in silence. That urge doesn't come from weakness, it comes from awareness. People who replay conversations tend to notice subtle emotional shifts. They pick up on pauses, micro reactions, unfinished energy. Their nervous system is tuned to patterns, especially relational ones. So when something doesn't line up, it stays unresolved inside them. And resolution doesn't always come from the other person. Sometimes it comes from understanding what you were protecting in that moment. The part of you that stayed quiet, the part that softened your words, the part that chose safety over honesty. Your brain isn't asking, "What should I have said?" It's asking, "Why did I feel the need to hold back?" That question lingers longer than the conversation itself, and the more emotionally significant the person was, the longer the replay lasts. Not because you miss them, but because your system is still mapping what the interaction meant. Was it rejection? Was it indifference? Was it something you imagined? Your mind keeps circling because uncertainty feels more threatening than clarity, even painful clarity. So it replays, late at night, in quiet moments, when there's nothing left to distract you. And here's the part most people don't realize. The replay isn't meant to end with an answer. It's meant to keep you alert. Your brain uses these loops to teach itself what to watch for next time, what tone to notice sooner, what feeling not to ignore again. It's learning through repetition, That's why the conversation fades only when the emotional lesson is absorbed, not when time passes. Some conversations disappear quickly. Others stay with you for years, not because they were important on the surface, but because they shaped how you relate, how you hold back, how you read people now. And sometimes the replay continues because the truth is uncomfortable, because accepting what that interaction meant would require you to admit something about yourself, about how much you cared, how much you needed approval, how deeply silence affected you. So the mind keeps the loop running, not to punish you, but to delay a realization you're not ready to sit with yet. And maybe that's why, even now, certain conversations still return, not loudly, not urgently, just quietly, waiting for you to notice what you felt before you understood it. If this kind of reflection feels familiar, you're not alone here. This space exists for minds that notice what others overlook. You can stay with dark mode psychology, quietly, at your own pace. Some thoughts don't need to be solved. They just need to be seen. And some conversations don't replay because they mattered then, but because they still do now.